It's always so nice to be back. I'm watching myself in that opening, and I can't believe it that I've been done it for over 4 years now. And when you really think about it, time flies and it goes so fast, and it's been a lot of work. I have my incredible guest tonight, Susan Heidi. She's an extremely talented woman, wife, mother, artist. We met in the New York Comic Con last week, and she's my very special guest for tonight. Before we have our conversation, I want to say hi to my viewers. I want to say hi to my producers and my sponsors. A very good friend of ours passed away on Wednesday. This is a knowledgeable boxing guy, a trainer, former trainer, boxing commentator for HBO, Emmanuel Stewart. He was a good friend of ours. He was my husband's good friend. They trained together. They went to Europe with Andy Lee. I'm sending my love and support to you, Andy, in Ireland, and Maud, and all the family in Detroit. He passed away on Wednesday. He got colon cancer, and it was a long battle. And when I found out, I was very sad. And I got the news 2 days ago, and I couldn't believe it. We're just passing by. It's very tough, and it was kind of hard because I seen the HBO going on, and a couple of weeks ago I was supposed to do a commentary with Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman and HBO, and they said that he was sick. So, my condolences to the family, to Detroit, to the boxing world. He was a good man. He made me laugh, and I made him laugh too. I can tell you that. We met in Atlantic City 3 years ago, and then I saw him again last year. I interviewed him last year in Atlantic City. So I'm just feel a little blue, Stuart. We're gonna miss you very much. And I went to the theater last night as an actor. Of course, I love to go and see work, and I went to see my good friend Mike Roach. We met at the Actors Studio almost 10 years ago. God, we're getting older. And I always go to the theater to see my friends work, and they are doing Doubt, directed by Peter Jensen, right in the Shrivett Studios. It's a good play, it's a great play. I think John Patrick Shanley is a genius. I think he is an exquisite playwright. And I saw the play last night. I really enjoyed it. The cast was right on. Brenda Crowley, Elise Barrett Mitchell, Mike Roach, my friend, and Nora Jane Williams. I really like her very much. The whole cast was great. Mike, I think you are superb. I think you're a funny guy. You remind me of Jack Lemmon. I told you that. You got that timing. You're so physical. You're so talented. And bottom line, you're so down to earth that it makes it, it's exquisite when you see people that are so talented.
Right, yes.
They're very grounded and down to earth. You did a great job, and I want to tell you that you really brought a lot of sense of humor to the play. When I read it, I was laughing, and when I saw the movie with Meryl Streep and Philip Seymour Hoffman and Amy Adams, I loved it. I really loved it, but I was not laughing that much. But last night, when I went to see you, I was right there at the front, and I just kept laughing right from the beginning. So it is not a funny play because it's not meant to be funny. But, life is drama and life is comedy, and as we cry, we laugh too. So it was a great feeling, Mike. Sending my love to you. You're going to be doing the play in about 35 minutes. So, okay, now we got that out of the way. We have here Susan Heidi. Susan, thank you so much for...
Thank you for having me.
For coming. You brought your lovely family. Vince, your husband, is right there behind cameras. He's a good man. I can see that. You're not going to break him down that easily. I can tell. And your son's so young, Connor. And his beautiful girlfriend. I met her 2 weeks ago. We met. That's the same girl. Yes.
She's the model, yes.
Katie, we're sending our love to you too.
And we also have another son who's not here. He's away at college.
Okay.
Dylan.
Okay, Dylan.
He's our oldest, so I don't want to leave him out.
Okay, of course, now family is everything.
Yes.
So we know that for sure. So Susan, where do we go? I mean, we're going to be showing the work in about 5 minutes, but I want to come back. I talk too much. No, I want you talking, and I'm going to be listening, and I'm not going to interrupt. I promise. Going back to your beginning, you were 5 years old, right?
When I first started drawing, I was 5 years old, and my father gave me some pastels and said try to copy a picture, and I did it almost exactly. And he's like, "Wow, I think you're going to be an artist someday." But I didn't. I kept it up as a hobby, but when it came time to go to college, I studied engineering instead of art. So it kind of got pushed to the back burner. And then I worked as an engineer for 17 years and started raising my family. And so really the art took over after the kids got a little bit older. We made a decision for me to stay home instead of, because my job was, I was traveling all over. So when I finally had some more time to put to it, I just started in again with my art and started taking a few lessons and looked for a direction to go in. But I always loved portraiture. It was always my favorite thing, to try to create a likeness. But with the pinup, I got inspired by the retro pinup models. Started seeing them in magazines, and they reminded me of my mother. I always saw pictures of her growing up, and she had the black and white photos, and she was in a little bathing suit and posing. It was always so important back in the 40s and 50s. And these were young girls who were doing what my mother used to do, getting dressed up with the makeup and the hair. And so I wanted to bring the portrait work to that world. And that's kind of how I got interested in it.
But it's like, are you left-handed?
Yes.
You see? I'm not that stupid, huh? I threw you off back there. I can tell you. For some reason, it's like, I don't know, I shouldn't say it, but people that are so gifted with their hands are left-handed.
Very often, yes.
Very often.
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
I think it's because the right side of the brain controls the artistic part of you, but I don't know. You know, my son is an artist and he's right-handed, but a lot of artists are left-handed.
It's very incredible because this is work that, like I said, even the use of colors. I mean, I'm not an artist. I can't tell you it's kind of tough for me to break it down in simple terms because I'm the one who has to be. I'm the learner here. You're the teacher, okay? I'm your student, okay? I don't know anything about colors. All I know that it is so beautiful to look at. I went to the convention 2 weeks ago with my cameraman, and we had fun. It was way too many people, over 100,000 people.
So crowded.
So crowded. Yeah. What do you do? I couldn't breathe. And you get overwhelmed because you see so much
so
work.
Much. Yeah.
So you don't know where to go. So it's a little difficult to appreciate because everybody's so talented and everybody's so dedicated. But I can tell you, I was walking and I walked fast and I said, oh, wait a second. What was that? And I said, Mike, come here. And I brought him back, and then when I went to you, and I just stayed there and looked at your work, and I was fascinated by it.
I appreciate that, and that's why I enjoy doing the Comic-Con, because a lot of people, there's a lot of comic art, which I love and a lot of people love, but there are other types of independent artists there.
Yeah.
And there's so much to see. You know, we enjoy it when we go and set up, when we go to the booths before everyone gets there, because the crowds are just so big.
Right, right.
But I enjoy the people who come by, people who come year after year and make sure they come and say hello and see my new work. And I just, you know, like to have it set up so everyone can come in and look and see what I've done. And I usually have large originals there so they can come and look and see how it's painted.
Right, and you have your model there because Katie was there.
Katie was there.
She was there standing.
Yes.
And I tell you, it's interesting because you, like I said, you don't have to be an expert, you don't have to be a critic to appreciate work. And when it's done, I said to Mike, I got to bring it on the show. I had to bring this woman. And you know what is interesting? That is you got to keep looking at it. It's a magnetic aspect.
Well, I try to impart that into the paintings when I work on them.
I mean, that's mission accomplished. My hands are in the shot. Gloria, can we go back to her shot? I want to make sure that I'm not, you see that? That was my hand. You see that? So I took my hands out of the shot. Okay, we're going to be showing one by one. But I wanted to ask you first, what's your inspiration?
Just inspired by the whole, creating a likeness is what inspires me. And making you look more than once at a picture.
Right.
And I know art that does that for me, and I want to create that for other people. And I think that just having people like yourself or anyone else say that I inspire them
Yes.
is what keeps me going. I had
Yes.
the first time I did the Comic-Con, I was in the artist alley. I had a little table, and a woman came up to me and she says, I read your blog, I love your work, and you inspire me every day.
Beautiful.
And to hear that from someone is just, it's amazing.
Yes.
And to bring some sort of happiness, hopefully,
Right.
joy is a gift.
What's your mission as an artist? What do you think is your mission? What do you want to communicate with your work?
I try to bring masterful artistic technique to a more pop culture.
No doubt.
medium.
I
And
said to
that's
your
what-
husband, I said, this is the kind of work that you want to see in Times Square. Okay? This is the kind of work, and like I said, I'm not an expert, and I'm not a critic. Okay? But this is the kind of work that belongs in Times Square. So now we're going to go one by one. My hands are clean. You can get closer if you want, Gloria. My hands are nice and clean. For some reason, this hand looks whiter than the other one. What is that? Is it lighting? Okay, I'm not out of the light. Okay, let's go back to number one. We can slowly, Gloria, but surely. Yeah, for some reason that looks a little off. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about this one. This
Okay,
is
so
beautiful.
I had this first because it's one of the most popular pinups I've done. The model is Sabina Kelly from Las Vegas, and she's actually in Times Square. She's on one of the billboards doing like a live 3D thing.
Oh, wow.
But she's one of the most recognizable retro pinup models out there today. She does modeling for magazines all over the world. She does personal appearances. And I did a photo shoot with her in Las Vegas to get the reference images to do the painting of her for this one.
This
So
is-
that's,
Gloria, can we get? I'm sorry to cut you off, Susan. Can you get closer, Gloria? I don't know if you can get a little closer. If I'm asking you too much, just tell me. Not with the camera. Just keep nodding with the camera and say, Sissy, shut up. There you go. I just wanted to go a little. You see that, Richard? What do you think, Richard?
That's beautiful.
You tell me.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful, right? Look at that. It's incredible work. I can just keep looking at it. You see that, Gloria? That's what I'm talking about. You see, that's what we need to show. Susan Heidi, real artist, real entertainment. Okay, this is the real deal. Right here, my hands are burning. Frank, this is so good. Okay, we're going to go to the next one, Gloria. Thank you for getting closer. That was really good. So we're going to go to the second one.
and something I'd like to mention too. is
Yes.
you can go to the next one because it's a little bit of a take on that. But Sabina actually has the tattoos. She's got full sleeves. She's got a lot more tattoos now than she had then. And that was something I also wanted to bring because it's a traditional art form. But the retro pinup models are kind of custom culture, so a lot of them have tattoos. I didn't want to leave that out. I wanted to, if
Right,
they
you wanna
had the
bring that in as
tattoos,
an
I brought
element.
it in to make it more modern.
Right, right. Gloria,
on
we
the
need to
pinup.
get closer to this one, if you can. This is the kind of work, Richard, that, like I said, if you look at it, look, this is nothing, for some reason that it doesn't look as good with the light. I need to get closer, Gloria. There you go. Thank you. There you go. Now we're talking. I'm sorry, but I like close-ups. I like close-ups. And there you go. You see that? Keep it still, Gloria. Thank you. Do not move, baby. I like that. You see that, Richard? It looks nice and clean, right?
Absolutely.
You see the quality, the colors, I don't know.
Now this one was actually all done in watercolors. I've been learning some new I continue to, learn new techniques. So I wanted to do it mostly by hand with a
Right.
brush, and that's how that one is done. It's all.
How long does
done
it take you to
watercolors.
get something like this
Done. Everyone
done?
asks. I don't count the hours because I think that would be discouraging.
Roughly,
but
roughly.
probably
Give me an
talking
idea.
it's 40 to 80 hours,
40
depending
to
on the
80
piece.
hours. And do
Yeah.
you work, would you do this every day? Will you do,
I do every day. I try to set apart a certain part of the day, and I do 3 to 4 hours of just painting.
And what do? You play music when you're doing it?
Yes.
What kind of
yeah.
music you like
All
to play
kinds of
with?
music. I've just lately started listening to coffee house style jazz, and I think it's because of the autumn and the weather.
Right. Gloria, we can go to that one. Susan, you look beautiful. How are you feeling so far?
Thanks. Good.
Is what you
Great.
expected?
Yes. Yes,
Cool.
going well. Thank
Okay,
you.
Gloria, we can get closer. Get me out of the shot. I'm sick of myself, man. I need to see the work. There you go.
And just a quick mention, the last model was Katie, and all